there, readers. Welcome back to the Reader's Garden. So here's our plan for day 2. We're going to start out by doing our new concept review. Then we'll head over, do some word work practice, our regular word practice and review, and then we'll finish up with connected text, reading, and writing.
Phonics connects sounds and symbols, unlocking code increasingly nimble, like wings for words. It'll lift you high with every sound. You soar, you fly.
So let's get started with our new concept review. Hey readers, today we are going to be learning a new spelling rule. And it's the first time we're really talking about how 2 letters can work together to make one sound. So this rule is called the FLOSS Rule, or sometimes it's called the FLSZ Rule. And you'll find out why. It'll all make sense in just a moment. So we've already learned that the letter F makes the sound F, like feather. Can you say F? And we've learned that the letter L makes what sound? L, like lion or leaf. We've learned that the letter S makes the sound S, like snake. And we've learned that the letter Z makes the sound Z, like in the beginning of the word zebra. Now, here's where things get interesting. There's this rule called the FLOSS Rule. You can see my little friend Jeff Floss up there with his floss. And this rule applies to words that are one syllable or just one clap long. It refers to words that have a short vowel, so words that have a, e, a, or and words that end with the letters F, L, S, or Z. In those situations, when it's one syllable, it has a short vowel, and it ends in F, L, S, or Z, you double the final letter. Let me show you. So if we've got a one-syllable word, our chin only drops once, like the word Jeff, and we have that short E, then because the word ends in F or the F, we double it up, and the name Jeff is spelled J-E-F-F. So F gets doubled to double F, L gets doubled to double L, S gets doubled to double S, and Z gets doubled to double Z. Exactly. Here's a great poster to help you remember what to do. This says, Jeff will pass Buzz. And you see all 4 of those words are following the FLOSS rule. J-E-F-F, Jeff, will, W-I-L-L, will, pass, P-A-S-S, exactly, pass, Buzz, B-U-Z-Z, Buzz. Jeff will pass Buzz is a great mnemonic or special memory tool to help you remember the FLOSS rule. Let's read some words that end in F that follow the FLOSS rule. The red word says off. The blue word says sniff. The green word says puff. And the orange word says staff. All 4 of those words, we're doubling up that F because it follows the FLOSS rule. They're one syllable, they have a short vowel, and they end in the letter F in this case. Here's some L words that follow the rule. We have the word bell, dill, doll, and smell. And they all follow the rule because they have how many syllables? 1. Is the vowel a short vowel or a long one? It's a short vowel. And they end in what letter? The letter L. Here's some that end in the letter S. The red word says boss. The blue word says class. The green word says hiss. And the orange word says press. They have how many syllables? 1. They have a long vowel or a short vowel? A short vowel. And they end in what letter? The letter S. Now let's look at some words that end in the Z. So we've got buzz, fizz, fuzz, and jazz. Explain to somebody around you why these words follow the FLOSS rule. So here's the thing. There are a few times that the FLOSS rule gets broken. There's some rule breakers, and I'm going to have to tell you about them so that you know that the FLOSS rule doesn't work 100% of the time, but it does work a lot. So let me tell you about these rule breakers. These 4 words just break the rule. There's no real reason for it, and we just have to learn and memorize these 4 words. So the first word is if. If, pal, like somebody's friend is their pal, us, and yes. These are our rule breakers. They do what they want, and we just have to learn how to spell them and how to read them. So I'm showing them to you so that you can know these rule breakers just want us to pay special attention to them. So if, pal, us, and yes. Now, these 3 words seem like rule breakers, but they're actually not. And here's why. So that first word, the word bus, the next word gas, and the last word ref, they're actually nicknames for a long word. And so that's why they seem like they're rule breakers, but they're just nicknames. So a bus, the actual word for it, the long word, is omnibus. And so we call it a bus, but bus is its nickname. For gas, the full word, you might know this, is gasoline. And so we refer to it as gas, but again, that's its nickname. And then finally, for the word referee, that's the full word. A referee, that's someone's job title, but we refer to them as a ref, and that's a thing that people commonly say, so it's the nickname for the word referee. Okay, so here's one more rule-breaking situation. Sometimes in words that sound like floss words, they end in what sounds like a Z sound, but it's actually being spelled with an S. For example, these words at the bottom of the screen. As, was, and his. In these words where the S is making the Z sound, as, was, and his, we do not double up the letter. So as, was, and his are just a single S making the Z sound. So these are 3 words that are helpful to memorize because they are pattern breakers, but you're going to see these words so much in your reading that pretty soon they'll be a snap to you. Let's take a quick moment to skywrite F, L, S, and Z in the air. So get your skywriting fingers ready. For the F, we're going to do a loop down and straight down to the bottom, go back up to the middle, and go across. Then for the lowercase l, we start at the top, go straight down to the bottom. For the S, we start at the middle, and we're going to go loop, 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 around the other way, and loop, 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 up. Very good. And finally, for the letter Z, you start at the middle, you go straight across. Now do a slant to the bottom, and do straight across. And that is the practice for handwriting these. If you'd like more practice, I have a page available in the link below. And if you'd like even more practice, I wrote a song about the FLOSS rule, and that song is also available in the link below, and I'll play just a little bit of it for you here so that you can get a sense of the FLOSS rule in song.
Short word, short vowel, making 1 syllable, ends in letters F, L, S, or Z. Here's the rule, you gotta double up that final letter. The FLOSS rule helps us read and spell better. Let's march through some words that follow this rule. It's time to go to FLOSS word school. Ball, boss, buzz, and glass, chess, fuzz, smell, and pass. Moss, grass, hill, and doll, off, less, hiss, but that's not all. Stuff them in your literacy pack. The FLOSS rule's got your words on track.
It's time now for us to head over for some word work.
All right, readers, now it's time for our word work mat practice. Mrs. Gardner is going to guide us to build and change words. We'll use our word work mats to help us break apart and put together letters to build a variety of words. Make sure you listen carefully. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Let's start our word work today by making the word loss. Oh, but wait, this is one of those floss words, so we're going to need a double S, and I've added some double S's for us to work with. so we can make the word loss. Loss. Now, how would you change loss to boss? We'll take off the L and we'll bring up a boss for boss. Now I'm going to take off the B from boss and put an M, and we get the word moss. So what happens if I want to change moss to muss? Like if someone comes over to you and does that to your hair, they're mussing up your hair. So let's take off the O, and add us, muss. Now take off that M and put an F in its place. And the word becomes fuss, like, making such a fuss. Now I'd like to change fuss to fuzz. So we're going to need our double Z's because one Z doesn't do here. Fuzz. Now take off that U, please, and put an I in the middle, and we get the word fizz. Now take off the ZZ, please, and add an LL, and the word becomes fill, like I fill a bucket full of water. Now I'd like to change fill to hill, so I'll take off that F and put an H, and the word becomes hill. And what happens if I take off that H? Well, now it just says ill, and I put an S there. We get sill. Now I'd like to change sill to still. So I'm going to need to squeeze a T right in between to get still. Now if I take off that LL and add an FF, the word becomes stiff. Like, I slept weird and now I have a stiff neck. Stiff. And if I take off that T and add an N, the word becomes sniff. And that is the word we're going to end on today, the word sniff. So let's take off our S. We get the word niff, which is not really a word. If we take off the N, we get if, but not spelled properly. We'd actually need to have just one F to make that be if. Let's take off that F, take off the I, and we are all set for the next day. All right, great work with word work. Let's go do our irregular word practice and review.
Some words are expected, phonics rules they obey. Other words are irregular, they go their own way. Irregular words don't sound the way they're written. We can't just decode them, the rules they don't fit in. So we'll practice and we'll learn them. Ready, let's start. And soon you'll know all these irregular words by heart.
Today, we are going to learn a new heart word. The word is your. Say it with me, your. Let's use the word your in a sentence. For example, is this your book? Now you try using your in a sentence.
Let's write the word your. Your is spelled Y-O-U-R. Again, how is that word spelled? This word is spelled Y-O-U-R. And what part of this word is irregular? The part that is irregular is this O and this U, because together we kind of expect them to make our. And so when we would expect this word to be spelled yower, but it's not. It's your. Let's spell this word out on our arm. Please stick your arm out and we will tap Y-O-U-R. Swipe them together. Do it again. Y-O-U-R. Your.
Let's learn the heart word want. Say it with me, want. Here's a sentence. I want to eat pizza. Now, what do you want to do today? Try to use the word want in a sentence.
Let's write the word want. Want is spelled W-A-N-T. Feel free to skywrite this in the air while I'm writing it out. Let's go again. W-A-N-T. And what part of the word want is irregular? Do you know? The irregular part is this, the A. Now the short A sound is ah. So we would expect this word to be want, but it's not. This is the word want, and so we would sort of expect it to be spelled W-O-N-T, but it's not. It's W-A-N-T. Let's go ahead and do it on our arm. W-A-N-T, want. Do it again with me. W-A-N-T, want. Our last stop for today is our connected text reading and writing practice. Let's head over now. I've got my connected text printed out from My Teachers Pay Teachers store that if you go to Teachers Pay Teachers and look up the Reader's Garden, you'll find this, and it's also available in the link below. We are going to be focusing on the FLOSS rule, so words that end in double F, double L, double S, or double Z. So let's go ahead and cover everything except that first line of text so that we can focus on our task at hand. Let's go ahead and count our words. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. Our end mark is an exclamation point, so we're saying this with excitement. And do we have any double letters here? Oh, I see we have a double S at the end of that word, so we'll be noticing that as we read. Let's go ahead and read. I see a lot of irregular words here. I want the pen from class. I want the pen from class. Ooh, I wonder if it's this pen. Did you know this is a pen? It's pretty cool. You take the ears and go down like that. Can you see that? It like sticks the pen out. It's really awesome. Uh-oh. Is the ears stuck? Whew, there we go. Ears back up. Okay, the next sentence is, here we go. Let's count our words. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 words, another exclamation point. That's interesting to see. And we have this mark right here, this little apostrophe. This apostrophe after someone's name, and then you see that S. So this word right here is Jill, and then we have the apostrophe and the S. So Jill's. When you see the apostrophe S, it means something that belongs to somebody else. So this will make sense when we read. Look at Jill's dress. Look at Jill's dress. So the apostrophe S is showing us that that's the dress that belongs to Jill. And then our next and last sentence on our connected text here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words and a question mark. And let's read together. Do you want a hat? Do you want a hat? Yes, please. All right, let's read everything. I want the pen from class. Look at Jill's dress. Do you want a hat? Excellent reading. Wonderful job on this. And then let's go do, that's a strange looking smile. Let's go do some writing together. Oh gosh, I think I made it worse. I don't know. Let's go write.
Please make sure you have something to write with, like a pencil.
And please make sure you have something to write on, like a piece of paper, or a whiteboard will do just fine too.
Our first sentence is, the hat fell off the desk. The hat fell off the desk. 6 words. Let's mark them on our page so we know where we'll plan to write them. The hat fell off the desk. Oop, that went up a little bit. That's okay. Period. The hat fell off the desk. Pause the video, write the sentence, come back and check. All right, let's write it together. Capital T, the hat fell off the The hat fell off the desk. All right, new highlighter color. And let's see, I'm going to use some pink. The next sentence is, I will toss your stuff. I will toss your stuff. I will toss your stuff. 5 words. Let's mark those words on our page so we know our plan. I will toss your stuff. That does not sound very kind. Unless it's helpful. Maybe it's meaning like you need help cleaning up and I'll help you with that. I guess that could be it. All right. Please write, I will toss your stuff. Pause the video. Come back and check. All right. Let's write. I will toss your oh, that doesn't look right. Oh, we need a double F. Stuff. I will toss your stuff. Floss rule at play here. And then our final sentence is, Nell is in jazz class. Nell, that's somebody's name. Nell is in jazz class. 5 words. Mark them as we say them. Nell is in jazz class. Period. So please write, Nell is in jazz class. I can move this down. Whoops, I do. Move it down slightly to make sure you can see it. Nell is in jazz class. Let's write that together. Nell. Oh, we need a double L because of that floss rule. Nell, because we've got our short E. Nell is in jazz. Oh, 2 Z's. Jazz. Nope, double S. Class. Nell is in jazz class. Let's read everything we wrote. The hat fell off the desk. I will toss your stuff. Nell is in jazz class. That is the end of our writing for today. I'm extremely proud of you. I'll sneak a little star right there. Wonderful job. Great work. And awesome. I hope you're really proud of yourself because I'm very proud of you. Lesson complete. You did it. You are all done with this lesson.
Phonics connects sounds and symbols, unlocking code increasingly nimble, like wings for words. It'll live